So what does the new National Association of Realtors settlement mean for you? That's what I'm here to talk about today. So for the last couple months, I've spent way too much time behind my desk, so I wanted to get out today and explore the new Northridge backcountry area in Leadville. If you're not familiar with it, I'll leave a link below in the description, but it's a great spot to get out and do some non-motorized winter activities. Just another good place to go hit the wrong button there. You can go cross-country skiing or snowshoeing like I'm doing right now. They have marked trails and maps, so check it out. So anyway, for the last week, just 1 week ago today, the press release came out about the National Association of Realtors settlement, which is a $418 million settlement in response to some of the lawsuits that had been filed some time ago regarding commissions. So what does that mean for you as either a buyer or seller or real estate agent? In the short term, not a lot's going to change right away. We're looking at July when these changes would take effect. And even then, they have to be approved by a judge before they go into effect. But there are going to be changes regardless. This has been coming for a while. And there's no reason to freak out. I mean, changes, they happen all the time, although this is the biggest change in about 30 years in the real estate industry. So the biggest takeaways from the settlement are starting presumably in July, agents will no longer be able to advertise a buyer's agent commission in the MLS. So all buyer's agent commissions are supposed to be negotiated. That could always happen before, but the way things worked before is a seller and a listing agent would negotiate a commission, and then a listing agent would specify how much the buyer's agent was going to get paid. It's kind of bizarre if you think about it. The way that system was set up, somebody like me who's been an agent for 20 years now is going to get paid the same on a transaction if they represent a buyer as someone who just got their license yesterday. So the whole goal of this is to provide transparency and more competition. So what I think is buyer's agents are going to have to really justify the commission they're getting. But does that mean that buyers are going to have to pay a commission for their agent out of pocket? Not necessarily. So we're going to find out over the next few months how this goes, but there's nothing that prohibits a seller from paying a buyer's agent. It just says they can't advertise a commission in the MLS. So they're already talking about ways to add concessions, to advertise concessions, and then buyers can come with their offer and negotiate the commission they want to get. Once again, for an experienced agent who does a lot of transactions, listing agent knows I can get the job done, they might be justified in getting a higher commission. I certainly hope that the 20 years of experience I have would be seen as more favorable than somebody who's brand new, out of the area, doesn't have a good track record, doesn't know what they're doing. So in that respect, it could be a good change, really. One of the other big changes that buyers are going to see is that now you're not going to be able to call an agent and just say, hey, let me in this house. Let's go look at houses. Before an agent opens any door for a client, they're likely going to have to enter into a buyer's agency agreement. And that agency agreement is going to spell out exactly how much and how they're getting paid. So that's going to be a big change. Once again, doesn't mean that the buyer is going to end up paying all the commission out of pocket themselves. It could. There's other mechanisms for that, and that's why it's important to have a knowledgeable agent who can guide you through the whole process. But I think the days of just calling somebody up and saying, hey, go show me this house. Yeah, I'll jump in the car right now, come show it to you. That's over. I think it's going to be important for buyers to shop around and find the best buyer's agent to represent them in whatever market they're in. So what else? Agents, the news articles that have you believe that this is going to get rid of, half or more of the agents out there and that agents aren't going to be able to make money anymore. Once again, the value proposition hasn't changed. The function of a buyer's agent, a listing agent, still remain the same. So I think it's really just more important for the buyer's agent to convey the value that they provide. A lot of agents could drop out. a lot of people have gotten into the industry thinking it's an easy buck, and buyers didn't pay as much attention to how much a buyer's agent was getting paid because they weren't paying it directly. So, yeah, people could drop out, but that's probably a good thing because the people that'll drop out of the industry probably didn't need to be here to begin with if they don't have a solid value proposition. So that could change. But I don't think there's any reason to freak out. I know the value I provide as a buyer's agent and a listing agent and will continue to provide. And people are going to continue to buy and sell real estate. Yeah, one thing that people say was, well, now with this agreement in place, won't a lot of buyers just go directly to the seller, not be represented at all? I think, yeah, maybe they could always do that now. But what I like to say is, there's no law that requires you to use a buyer's agent. There's no law that requires you to go to a doctor for stitches. You can do it yourself, but you might not like the results, and you can do the research. There's a huge percentage of people who didn't use an agent, the percentage that get involved in lawsuits, litigation from their transactions, high rate of dissatisfaction. I mean, it's way, way higher than transactions in which people had real estate agents representing them. So I think the buyer's agent, listing agent are always going to provide value, especially for the vast majority of people who, this is the biggest transaction they'll have. Most people are only going to do maybe 3 to 5 real estate transactions in their life, if that. Of course, there's investors, people who do this all the time, and they've got more experience. But I think for the vast majority of people, they really need that guidance. And, if you don't know what a real estate agent does, I'm going to put a link below to something put out by the National Association of Realtors that shows 179 things that an agent does for you during a transaction. Might be worth looking over. But, let's see here. What else? I think we'll all just have to kind of stay tuned and see how things shake out as we move forward. There's going to be changes. You're going to see some interesting things. I think a lot of people are talking about the potential for tiered levels of services. So buyer's agent might say, hey, I've got my basic package where if all you want me to do is go open doors, I'll charge you a flat fee. I'll charge you every time I go show you a house. Or you're going to get the full service package that a lot of agents like myself have always provided. And you're still going to end up paying close to where you were before. So if you have questions or thoughts about it, feel free to call me up, shoot me an email. Be happy to talk about it and keep you informed as things move forward. But I think the bottom line is, the real estate industry is a huge part of the American economy. People are always going to buy and sell property. They're always going to need assistance with those transactions. And there's always going to be real estate agents like myself to help them. So anyway, just a few rambling thoughts here about the settlement. As always, if you have any questions about the Leadville or surrounding markets, feel free to give me a call, shoot me an email. I'd love to help you out. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the mountains.